If you're enjoying this tutorial so far and learning something new, take a quick moment to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon. Welcome back. Today, we are fixing that. We are going to connect Terraform to the 3-node Proxmox cluster and using it to build the VM template from the code, version control, repeatable, and powering in the best possible way. So in this chapter, like what we have done in my previous chapter is like we have connected 3 different nodes to a cluster. Don't miss out the previous chapter and come back to this chapter so that you can automate it completely with the Terraform. So now the whole point here is what we're going to do is like once we got the 3 nodes Proxmox VE cluster already running, we're going to use the Terraform specially through the HCP Terraform cloud to define the VM templates as a code. And the state that runs within the Terraform cloud connects to the GitHub repo. And everything changes as the infrastructure code is like version control completely. So we'll write these files, which is like main.tf, variables.tf, and tfvars files. So if you see on the screen, I have a screen on the right side. Let me just quickly move to the diagram and explain you what exactly we are trying to do. The flow is like the VS code is the main.tf file and variables and .tfr files. And what we're going to do is we're going to push that to the Git repository if possible within this video itself, and then we're going to do a version control trigger to the Terraform cloud and just run some Terraform CLI commands with like login, init, and validate, and also format if required. And then we're going to run the plan and then apply it back to it. And then we do some API calls to the Proxmox, and then the cluster would have a VM template ready for you. So let me log in with the root and the password for the virtual environment on the Proxmox on all the 3 nodes. And because we have already attached all the 3 nodes to one cluster, so it will be very convenient for you to see that on one of the clusters, which I'll be working on today. So my whole priority is to create or sign up for the HCP Terraform. So I'll just quickly go in on the right side and click the sign up tab and create your account on the sign up tab. Once I click on it, it will request me to log in with email, and then hit continue tab, and then generate a strong password, okay, which you have to be like 8 characters minimum and 3 on 1 lowercase and 1 uppercase and 1 number, and create a tab. Let me zoom in, and there are some service agreements. Let me accept them, and I don't want to have the marketing and the newsletters, so let me click on continue. So you will see this page like create organization. So once you have that page, let me zoom in back. Personal. We are doing the personal, and I'm just going to update this to the good shoes only and hit create organization. Once I have that, the page would load in with the organization creator on the top, bottom left corner. And you have the dashboard and few services underneath that vault, and then the admin information. On the project side, once you click on the manage project, you see the project settings. But what we're going to do here is like we're going to create a workspace. So for the workspace, what you have to do is you have to go to the portal.cloud.hashicorp.com and create a project there. So let me create a project with the name Baingan. So yeah, it's like an eggplant in it's called it's a vegetable name. And let me just type in the description and create project. And let me zoom settings. Let me change that and go back to the project baingan.lab. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new workspace. And under the workspace, what we're going to do is like this: get started with Terraform. And under the overview, you see like go to the HCP Terraform tab on the right corner. And let me move around and hit that. Okay, don't worry about the unauthorization. It's the first time. So it will ask you for the login again. So let me log in back with my email or the username and continue. And let me create the link account for this to continue. Yeah. And here, what we're going to do is we create the organization. So under the organization, still be personal. The Terraform organization will be the same as good shoes, and create organization. And here under the manage, you will see the options like workspace, create a new workspace, and version control, CLI driven, and things like that. So the difference between that is like we're going to do the GitHub connector here, and then we're going to add that to the VS Code to work on it. So let me go ahead and create the project as well. Let me just retype it, Proxmox Bingen Lab. And let me just copy it and paste it in the description as well and create. And under this, oh, I'm just changing back to the Bingen-lab. Yeah. Let me have a synchronization of the name. So naming convention is more important. Let me create a workspace now. And then let me select one of them, version control workflow. You can also select CLI driven workflow, because one of the other videos I'll be taking care of the CLI driven workflow as well. So for this one, we're going to select the create workspace and select the project which I have created already, which is Bingen-lab, and then create. And then let me choose the workflow accordingly as a GitHub.com. If you do not have the GitHub account, you can look at my other videos. You can create the GitHub account. It's a free online for all the code repository to be at one place. And then we're going to move forward by creating a repository name, proxmox-terraform. It says available. Okay. And let me create the README document as well on. And yeah, I'm just selecting add.git ignore and create repository. I think let me rename it to be honestly for the name of this will be like a template, so VM template. Yeah, let me rename it. Yeah, looks good, everything looks fine. So let me just hit the rename back. Yeah, so now proxmox-terraform-vm-template. If you want to go back to my repo anytime, you can just clone this repo or you can work on this as well. So let me go back to the workspace creation, and once I refresh it, I'll be able to see the repository name. So I'm just copying and pasting the same thing over there in the description. If you have any tags, you can also add the tags here. Just make sure, tags makes more convenient on working on it. So if you have a branch base like main or any other branches, you can work on them as well. So for me, I keep it simple for this video and move forward. Only trigger runs the files as well. And in the future, I'm going to create a pipeline as well, where I'm using like a self-hosted agents on the Azure. So I can use this repository as my CloudWorks repo to trigger the plan anytime or apply. So once we configure the Terraform and then continue with the workspace, I'm going back to the Visual Studio Code. So I have everything here. So here's the best part is the provider. I'm using like 1.6.0 and the workspace, the one workspace which I have created. And this is the name. I'm going to change the name back to the workspace part of it on the vm-template.tfvars files as well. So that in that case, we have the variables set, and this is the provider for the Proxmox. Like you need to have the API URL, token, and token secret, and insecure TLS. So that's mandatory fields which are required to connect to the Proxmox as well. And this is the main.tf, where you have the template creation with the name, target node, VMID descriptions, OS type, QEMU, OS, and memory, CPU, SCSI, boot, network, things like that, and cloud init username and password, where I'm actually using from the variables I'm defining in the template.tfvars files as well. And then you have IP config with the DHCP. For now, if you want, you can also have a static IP if required, and the serial VGA and start at the node boot. It's true. And there is a variables which I have set up with the distribution type, and if there is insensitivity, you can also mention that here, so that it will start to pick it up and things like that. So these are main things, to be honestly, I might be a little high in my pitch, but splitting this way of the whole point is logical living in one place. So you specify values like in any other, changes values on the logic part. So make sure you have a splitting in the way of the whole point of the files, like variable provider and things like .tfvars files. And here I'm defining all the information, the values where you can inject them there. If you have any other great ideas, please let me know in the comments below. So trust me on this one. So let's go on to the authentication part, where we have to go to the Terraform CLI as well. So I'm just switching pages from Proxmox UI and coming back to the Visual Studio. I'm just typing in Terraform login to authenticate. the first time. So the Terraform cloud will just manage our state and things like that. So once after you log in the same way. And let me say the value, yes, it will take me back to the new browser page. It will ask me some information, authentication if required. I'm just going to select 1 hour if the token is validated for. Copy the token here and paste it in the Visual Studio Code. And you'll not be able to see the token. It's just a prompt. And then it will straight away log you in. So that's how you're going to authenticate it. So the next one would be very crucial, which is like init. And let me just type in the Terraform format command to format the whole code. It gives a clear validation of this. And then it's going to format the whole code within the repository. And then Terraform init. So it will initialize the plugins and things, whatever is required for our code. And then it will start to install them if the plugins are not available. And then it will use the install part of it. And then guarantee that the plugins are there. You see the .terraform folder there. And then validate it with the Terraform, the code, which is like configuration syntactically corrects intentionally consistency of it. So successful message comes back really good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run through a different command, which will highlight actual talks to the Proxmox, compares the existing against whatever the code is, and describes, shows you exactly it intended to create, change, or destroy without touching anything yet. So it's going to pick up from the vm-template.tfvars files. So this is the plan. And this actually talks to the Proxmox now and create, change, or destroy within that. So before we apply anything, we run the plan. So let's jump over to it and see what is happening. Let's change to the output. There's a token length. That's it. And things like that. But if I scroll up a bit to see if there is any changes, which is like, it says like I don't have the output for me to grant it at the moment. So it's saying like if the actions are okay, you can go and apply. So if I scroll up a bit within that, and I was able to see the refreshing state of this, and it's what it's creating and performing with the Terraform code itself. And this is how what I was talking about, which helps us to configure syntactically correctly before we run the apply. We need to go and run the plan. And there is 1 added and 0 changes, 0 destroyed. So let me clear with the command and go back to Terraform apply -var file. And before that, I just want to go back to the UI and see under the data center, I don't have the 5000, which I'm going to create it as a template now. So let me run the apply command here. Let me just expand this Visual Studio. And that's the command. Shows like the plan output is done, so it's going to apply it. So it goes to work like provision the VM template directly against the Proxmox API, and it will come directly under the bindgen-pve1 node. And you can see the changes to the output. Yeah, there is a warning, but you can skip it because it's just detecting a few things on the resources. So if you want to apply, and you can see it on the left side, there is no 5000 VM, but once I apply yes, and if I hit yes, and enter, and then you can see like Proxmox VM template is creating. On the left hand side, you can see like 5000 VM is created. So that means like the whole output is very seamless, and you can build the entire VM with only one single click by just typing the apply and plan and the apply code within it. So it's quite straightforward, to be honestly, creating a workspace within the GitHub repo and pushing the code if required and triggering it. Or you can run through the CLI, because it depends upon if you're running a CLI, use the CLI. For me, I'm running the CLI, so I've used the CLI as well. So if you found this very much useful, let me know, because creating of template would be quite simple going forward. If you want, you can focus or clone my repo and work on it. And then you can see like node is created, which template ID is 5000. You can see the node is running as expected. And if you want to see the settings under the cloud init, and you should see that because it's running. So if you need to stop to update anything here, edit. I'm going to create another video with the complete scripts as well. So that will be really helpful. I think like it might be 2 or 3 scripts, and it's going to boom in and create the whole template. And you can also create the complete VM for the Kubernetes cluster. this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Good Shoes. Stay tuned for more tech tips and tutorials. See you in the next one.